I heard the sentence before I realized I was the one being talked about. "He has no idea I'm draining the accounts," my wife whispered, followed by a quiet laugh she only ever used when she thought she was clever. I froze in the hallway, still holding the laundry basket against my hip. I thought I misheard. I wanted to mishear. But then her friend Tara snorted and said, "Men never notice until it's too late." My heart dropped so fast I heard the echo in my ears. For a moment I stood there, staring at the wall like it was suddenly a door to another world. A world where the woman I trusted with my entire life wasn't talking about emptying our savings behind my back. I didn't walk in. I didn't confront her. I just quietly backed away, pretending I hadn't heard a thing, because I needed to know how deep the knife went. I didn't check the accounts that night. I didn't want numbers to confirm what my chest already knew. Instead, I lay beside her in bed, my back turned to her, listening to the faint clicking of her phone. She texted late these days. A lot. She always angled the screen away from me, always claiming she was talking to her sister or her coworkers. But that night, with her breathing steady and her thumb tapping in short bursts, I knew those messages had nothing to do with family or work. For years, I had prided myself on being the trusting husband. I thought trust was what made a marriage strong. But trust without awareness is just blindness decorated with hope. The next morning I checked, and the numbers weren't wrong. Our joint savings, where we'd been putting money aside for a house, for a future, for the family she once said she wanted, was down nearly $52,000. Transfers. Small ones. Over months. Sometimes $300, sometimes $600, sometimes $1,200. Never enough to trigger alerts. Always just enough to slide under my radar. My hand shook so badly the mouse almost fell from my grip. She had been stealing from me. Slowly, quietly, like someone scraping paint off a wall, one hidden layer at a time. The worst part wasn't the money. It was the lie she'd been living inside our home while I slept next to her. The next few weeks were a blur of half-truths and silent investigations on my part. I watched her more closely, listened more carefully, examined every receipt, every late arrival home, every too sweet smile. I noticed things I had ignored before. A new necklace, she said, was just $20 online. A weekend trip with the girls that didn't show up on her credit card. Nails done twice a month, though she swore she was cutting back. I felt stupid. Worse than stupid, I felt hollow. I tried once gently to ask if everything was okay. She was sitting at the kitchen table, sipping coffee, scrolling on her phone. "Yeah, why?" She didn't look up. "You seem distracted lately." She shrugged. "Work stress. Don't overthink." And that was it. A dismissal. Pat on the head. As if I was the one hiding something. The breaking point came 2 days later. I came home early from work. I didn't intend to. A client canceled a meeting, and I found myself driving home on autopilot, needing the quiet. When I walked in, she didn't hear me. She was in the living room. Her voice was low, annoyed. "No, I can't just leave yet," she snapped. "He'd know something was up. Just give me another month. Yes, the money will be moved by then." My knees almost gave out. Another month. More money. Another plan. And then her next sentence cut the rest of me open. "Once I'm out, he can have the house. I don't care. I'll be gone." Gone. She wasn't just stealing. She was preparing an exit. I didn't confront her, not then. Not with my voice shaking and my entire life suddenly feeling rented instead of owned. Instead, I did something I never thought I was capable of. I became quiet. Observant. Strategic. If she could lie with a straight face for months, I could pretend for a few weeks. I met with a lawyer. I gathered statements. I pulled transaction histories. I took screenshots. I printed documents. I created a folder thick enough to choke on. And then I did the thing that hurt the most. I acted normal around her. I kissed her cheek in the mornings. I asked about her day. I laughed at her stories. I played the role of the oblivious husband she thought I was. Every night I lay beside her, listening to the lies she texted through glowing screens. It felt like sleeping next to a ghost wearing my wife's face. The confrontation came on a Sunday morning. Sunny. Quiet. Innocent, exactly the opposite of what it would become. I made her coffee, set it in front of her, then placed the thick folder on the table. "What's this?" she asked. "Everything," I said. Everything you thought I didn't know. Her face drained instantly, like someone pulled the color out with a vacuum. She tried to deny it at first. Then she tried to blame me. Then she tried to cry. But I had already cried enough for both of us. When the excuses ran dry, she whispered, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." A line so rehearsed it sounded like she practiced it in front of a mirror. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I didn't throw anything. I simply said, "You had a choice. And you picked betrayal." The divorce moved fast. Her friend who encouraged her? She disappeared the moment things got real. The man she had been funneling the money to, yes, I discovered that part too, stopped answering her calls once the lawyer contacted him. And she ended up having to pay back every cent she took. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I wanted truth to have weight. People ask me now if I miss her. I miss the version of her I thought existed. But grief changes when you realize you were mourning a person who wasn't real. The night I moved out of our house, I sat in my car for a long time. The street was quiet, and the windows reflected my face. Tired, older somehow, but free. For the first time in months, I felt air fill my lungs without pain. Betrayal broke me, but the truth rebuilt me, piece by painful piece. And now when I think about her whispering, "He has no idea," I almost smile. Because she was right. I had no idea then. But I know everything now. And that knowledge is the beginning of my peace.